And we can build on it as well. There's so much more that can be added to it. It can be so versatile. We could even add for a particular season, do a collaboration with the heist, for example, add their smart contracts, add their tasks, and create a skill tree just for the heist using the GigaRank system. It just perfectly pieces everything together within the GigaDAO ecosystem and just makes total sense. Let me... Whoa, that's so loud. How you doing, man? How are you doing?
I just sprinted for 1 hour and got this mulberry concept done. There's a few lines to polish. I think Data might do it for me, otherwise I'll have to finish it after this.
If anyone wants to come up and chill with us, we don't have any kind of format or anything like that. The purpose of this is to chill, hang out. We're going to try and do it weekly and just make sure that we're a bit more visible with everyone, especially leading up into some cool stuff that we've got coming up, which we might spill the beans on some of it, maybe, if I'm feeling like it. But yeah, if you guys want to come up and join in the chat for a little bit, you're welcome to.
I have a friend who's really smart and really rich and really good at markets, and I made a bunch of money with him doing trading algos. And inside of GigaDAO, kind of started our own internal hedge fund, and we asked him for some advice, and he was instantly brilliant. We started doing spot market making on Orca, and we saw that our P&L was just totally correlated with the price of SOL, which makes sense because you're holding a large SOL position. So he's like, you have to open a matching sort that basically makes you market neutral and cancels out any of the ups and downs of your base currency. So yeah, he's real smart, and I'm hoping to kind of rope him in as a consultant for the project.
Yeah, it'd be good to have his expertise because I think, we had lessons learned from those few days or 5 days that we were testing the algo. But if we had have had him there from the start, he would have been able to say, no, don't do that, do this. And so going forward, he'll be perfect to have there, be like, no, you don't need to do that, do this instead. Save us a lot of time.
Exactly. He's like, I have experience with certain types of market making algorithms. He has experience with more types of them. He knows not just perps and futures market making. He also knows spot market making. He's also familiar with options. He's just he's not an expert coder, but he's an expert trader. And he can read the code too, which is a really rare combination.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. So I assumed he wasn't able to write code. Because
no, he can write code.
He just doesn't like to.
Yeah, he does. His code is really not great quality, but he gets the job done. I think he made his first $1 million completely on his own.
Oh damn, good on him.
Yeah.
And now he's bowling.
Now he's in Madrid with his mom on vacation. He bought 2 properties in China. He was improved for a while. He's just fucking traveling around.
That's the life right there. Having fun, just having a good time.
Yeah, but I do get the feeling that he's a little bit bored though. I think he's a bit excited about this, especially since we'll be doing all the work, and he just has to kind of course correct and consult and get a cut.
Yeah, and he's also a pre-sale investor as well. So
he's one of our biggest.
Yeah.
I called him, and an hour later he sent me 20 grand. There's no questions asked.
Done. Yeah, that's awesome. And if we drag him in, maybe we can get him to sweep some loot boxes and nerds as well.
Oh man, I don't even know if this dude has a Discord account, man. I don't think he's ever bought an NFT.
I'll sweet talk him into it.
You probably can sweet talk him into it. But he's even more interesting than me. I'm not a flipper. I can count on 2 hands the number of NFTs I've bought and sold. But he's just purely about the numbers. He doesn't give a fuck about hype and excitement. It's just backtesting, simulations, money. That's it.
So I wanted to, I figured since we didn't get a chance to catch up today, I figured we may as well just do it here and the people can listen. I think we got some exciting stuff to talk about anyway. Just quickly with the smart contract to upgrade with GigaRank to add other smart contracts and calls in there. Are you fine with me just giving that to our bounty hunter and having them update that smart contract for the DAO dashboard and Titan? Are we going to be able to get the calls for that as well?
So to be honest, I've read all of the source code for all of our systems except for GigaRank. I see we've got Mr. Dab up here. He knows more about that than I do. If you want to bring him up, he might be able to answer the details there. I would not be comfortable, like with my current knowledge, I would not be comfortable handing that off to a contractor. But after reading the code, I mean,
well, I mean, he's the one that built it, right? So he's not a contractor, but yeah.
You mean sit out?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So for like the ultimate, like he's so good. Okay, yeah. So like the context for anyone listening is that we are gamifying across all products, and we actually, it looks like over the next month and a half, we're going to be launching multiple product lines. They're all related to each other, and they've all been many months in the work. But everything that you do is going to get you points, which is going to level you up, which is going to give you power, right? You're going to be able to vote on things like what's the next prediction market, what's the next token that's added to the leverage system or the DEX, and it'll also make you eligible for prize pools on all of these platforms.
And it's not just that, like there's actually a lot more to it. I spent the better part of today, after I was recovering from the Johnny Walker last night, I spent the better part of today really trying to map it out, especially mapping out like the skill tree and perks. I think we should try and aim to implement that, because it gets really interesting, like the deeper you go in creating certain skill trees and perks that can be added to that, with a reduction in fees and an increase in experience that gets earned through certain actions. Like that kind of depth really does gamify the entire system.
Dude, like whenever you say skill trees, I get a little bit turned on. Like obviously I love playing video games, and for me, coding and trading, especially algo trading, has always been kind of like a game. But the thesis, which is still, like who knows if this is going to pan out, but at the very beginning, when I got into NFTs, I saw all these degens doing what you could almost call due diligence. They were just studying all these different projects, trying to look at the fundamentals, trying to predict what's going to pump. But for the most part, the projects were such low quality and such short-lived, and none of the founders actually built anything. But the vision is that we can gamify capital allocation. We can make it feel like a video game with all the dopamine pump and the monetary rewards. But in order to level up, you have to actually dig into these projects, figure out which ones are going to make money, which ones are going to give you returns, which ones are going to last. Because if you vote one in, then you're forever tied to that prize pool. So there's like a real alignment for degens to do proper due diligence on the next wave of, Solana-powered tech companies or blockchain tech companies.
Yeah, I love it. And it's something that we've been talking about for a long time. I think maybe last year around April is when we first thought of the gamification idea, and we kind of exploded. Maybe a bit too much, but it was perfect, and it just made total sense. And now that we have all of these services and products that quite literally about to go live and explode, it just makes sense to kind of wrap that up and go back to like the base of why we got into Solana in the first place. Play to earn was so big. Wrapping it up in trading, I'm really looking forward to putting it out there.
Yeah. It's like my personal threshold is pretty high for like, I have a low attention span. I don't enjoy like just going all Discords and stuff, but I see that if we can execute this properly, which it looks like we will, then I'm going to be super addicted to our own products. And then I'm just going to be spending all day long, like building them out, improving them, talking to all the users, and just tweaking the scoring system, finding the best new projects, talking to the best, convincing the best founders, even if it means going to Web 2 and being like, don't raise normal angel money, don't raise normal VC money. Come here, do a mint. Come here, do a token sale. It's going to be cheaper for you, and you're going to have an instant like population of people marketing for you, an instant population of users. So, yeah.
And we can build on it as well. There's so much more that can be added to it. It can be so versatile. We could even add for a particular season, add like do a collaboration with the Heist, for example, add their smart contracts, add their tasks, and create a skill tree just for the Heist using the GigaRank system. Now, we're not going to do that right away, but that's how we built the core basics of GigaRank, is that anything can be added and you can start earning points. And once we do have the skill tree ready, which will probably be around maybe a month away, depending on how we want to deploy this, it can just get added to it. And it's on top of, you know, the DEX and Titan and other products that we have coming along the way as well. It just perfectly pieces everything together within the GigaDAO ecosystem and just makes total sense.
Yeah, dude. So, okay, did ADAB just bounce out? Motherfucker, or he's probably coding. I wanted to make that announcement, but it's better if he's here for it. Should I tell people about that?
No. Please don't do that. I'm not ready. No. Let's wait. Sorry, but yeah, let's wait on that. That's way too soon.
Word. Okay. What am I allowed to tell them?
Everything but that.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about the hedge fund more. Maybe not in too much detail, because I know there's a lot of people here that don't know about it because they don't have not a lot of people, but some of the guys here don't have Monopoly Roll.
Yeah, so, you know, like, one thing that I learned when I first came to Bali is that emerging markets, immature markets are much easier to market make on from a hedge fund perspective. There's less competition. You have like fewer PhD physics quants competing. So it's much easier to find cyclical patterns and predict if there's going to be a bounce. So my previous hedge fund partner, like he went from Forex to crypto and Binance, and it was like night and day. It just profits just 10x overnight because it's just a less competitive market. Now, when we started looking at the DEX ecosystem on Solana, so Orca and OpenBook and basically everything that Jupiter routes through, Radium and all those others, it instantly, there was just all these green flags because it looked so inefficient. In particular, you've got these massive wicks. It's a very fractured market, and because there's like the liquidity moves around in an irrational way, you get people every single day, if you look at the raw data, that are buying and selling way outside of market price. We're talking about like 30, 40, 50%.
That's too deep. That's too deep. Stop. Yeah, but I mean, like, that's the core basics of what we're looking at the moment. I don't know if we should spill all the beans. But yeah, we are looking into it, and it looks pretty juicy and it looks pretty good. The good thing is, and Alpha can confirm, that there's no competition right now. So there's a good opportunity for us to just execute. And what's exciting about it is, like Alpha said, that his friend, that Michael, this guy that he was talking about, when he told us that we need to short, then we were like, sick, because we just built our own shorting smart contract and platform. So we really kind of optimize cash flow by not having to rely on other platforms and pay their trade fees. We can essentially avoid all fees altogether by shorting through ourselves. So there's a good opportunity for us to like really make a nice tight ecosystem, maximize our returns by saving on fees and hitting a market that has no competition. It's pretty good.
Yeah. So, you know, I've been working primarily on Titan, which is our spot leverage system, which you can use for, you know, leveraged longs and shorts. And when we realized that we needed to, you know, hedge our market making positions, we're like, why don't we use our own leverage platform to do it? So everything, all the code is written, all the code is tested. All I have to do is polish up some of the cranks that automate like liquidation and the interest accrual. And then we'll be adding that to our core market making algorithm. Now, I'm apparently not allowed to spill the details on this, but I've also spent some time over the last 2 days finalizing a deal for like a sub DAO.
Continue. It's fine. Don't say too much detail though.
No, that's it. So that's how my time has been spent. Like,
yeah.
That's basically done now. I spent the last hour writing a smart contract for it. I'm pretty excited about it. I would love to give you guys all the details, but I think we'll wait till next week.
Yeah.
And we'll wait till ADO's in line to talk about it too.
Yeah. It's cool though, like especially how we've written the contracts that we did have to push a little for, but as you guys know, we love smart contracts and we love on-chain, and we believe strongly in decentralized governance. So we're able to kind of put a deal together using our upgrade authority, which is protected by a treasury. And so it's like, we can essentially execute on deals and move forward without the fear of developers or business partners rugging us, which I think is quite cool. And I'm looking forward to kind of telling everyone more about that when we're ready to tell people about it, because it's a write-up.
I'm gonna tease it a bit more without saying any specifics, but just cut me off if I go too far. So one of the things that I've noticed working in tech for about a decade is that you've got like a few different psychological profiles when it comes to devs. And one of the major categories is people who love working on their own ideas. Okay. Like some people are fine just following orders and executing, and that's fantastic. And I can be like that too. But some people, if they have their own idea, they're going to be 10x more excited and passionate to work on it. The case in point is like, when I got my first real coding job, I was working for a military contractor doing like helicopter flight simulation code for the Navy. They would give me my tasks. I would do all of them on Monday, and I would spend the rest of the week working on my own stuff. And so like, that's not something that's like not ideal from the employer standpoint, but I checked all the boxes and I did. And in that kind of traditional, really old school ecosystem, I didn't feel comfortable. Like I couldn't have gone to my bosses and be like, hey, can we do, like invest some resources in this and blah, blah. It just was not the culture there. But for people inside of our organization, we've seen a bunch of different categories of like what fires people up, like what gets people excited, what motivates them to work. And whenever you get someone who's like, really like potentially founder material, where they're pretty well rounded, they understand not just ones and zeros, but also dollars and consumer psychology, then this is Web3. So instead of just like being like firing them or go do your own thing, we can potentially work something out where we all benefit. And that's all I can say about that now. We put like about 2 days into it, and we worked out a great deal for GigaDAO holders, where we get a majority stake and benefit from a really a young and energetic founder's just passion for an idea.
Yeah, and that's like the important thing as well. Like from the very beginning, it was all like, what can we do for GigaDAO, and how can this best serve our DAO? I don't think there was ever a point where we're thinking about ourselves. It's like there's no way we could go forward with anything unless the DAO is like fully made aware and brought in, and our token holders, our NFT holders are going to see some kind of benefit from that. So it's going to be an exciting thing. It's certainly going to be interesting, especially when hearing feedback. But the good part is that we've sunk the time into it that we needed to, and now I'm pretty sure we're just ready to go back to finishing off Titan and getting the market making bot running on the new algo. So we won't talk about that particular subject anymore, but we're both excited, and it's been a super interesting experience, and we'll educate everyone on it soon. But yeah, let's not do that. By the way, if anyone does want to come up and have a chat or ask any questions, you are more than welcome to. Otherwise, Alpha and I can just keep talking. I know a lot of you haven't had the chance to listen to Alpha much, so you're happy. You're welcome to just sit and listen and have fun with it.
Well, okay, so I'll prime this with saying there's a reason that these spaces, which we're going to do every week, there's a reason it's called Dirty Laundry. Because, like, I don't know if, like, I'm going to start doing my dev announcements again. It's been a while since I got on them. You can expect them to reboot over the next week. But I'm a big fan of just raw honesty. And I think that that's the only way, like, that's the competitive advantage of DAOs, is that if you loop in the community, if you loop in your holders, if you loop in your customers and give them just like the raw information, all the good, the bad, the ugly, then they're more likely to give you quality feedback that you can use to make business decisions. And the dirty laundry part came from, it came from us dealing with these internal politics, which I have very little patience for. But at the same time, found that, like, there's some really interesting ways through. Like, some of you have probably heard the story before, but our biggest win, our like the case study that maybe in business school textbooks a few decades in the future, is our number one bounty hunter now, Sadao, who was just a brilliant guy, worthless on a salary. But the moment we gave him bounties, he's just like an ultra bargain. He just executes them super fast. He's cheaper than anyone else, and he's just loving it. And it's just like, wow, it turns out that if you incentivize people in a different way, then you get a whole lot of different value out of it. Now, the path there can be very frustrating because it's not fun to have someone who's unmotivated or someone who you're just paying and you're not getting work out. So that was like the first case, and that wound up being a win. The dirty laundry one is really inspired by Nate. He bounced out, hopefully, to finish the contract that is almost done for his deal. But this guy, I see myself in him so much. There are differences, but so much of it reminds me. So much of him reminds me of me, and he was, after a while, he's really hard to deal with. He's like 21 years old. He's been coding for 13 months. He's probably better at coding than I was after like 5 years. This kid's top 5 smartest people I've ever met. And he went from the beginning of our journey to like, I'll do anything for any amount of money, whatever. I'm living at home with my parents. And then all of a sudden he thinks he's the king of the world. And so I was like, all right, okay, we're going to have to work something else out here. That's where the dirty laundry idea came out. And I was ready to be fuck this. I'm not dealing with this. But Belac is very diplomatic and level-headed and sort of bottom line oriented. And he was he proposed, hey, what if we kind of make a deal to the maximum benefit of GigaDAO, and instead of just cutting ties, we find a mutually beneficial solution, which I'm not allowed to give details on, but we did, and we did the deal, and I'm feeling really good about it, because the most important thing by far in this industry is finding those quality people to surround yourself with. Doesn't matter how talented you are as a programmer, as a marketer, anything, good, hardworking people who are reliable and highly intelligent are very hard to come by. So you want to keep them close. And this is one of those cases where it was we were ready to let him go, but it would have been so fucking painful. So we're all right, let's stretch. Let's see if we can find a way. And we found a way. So I'm proud of Belac for working that out, and I'm especially proud of Adab's emotional maturity, which is way beyond what mine was at his age. So I think that anyone who holds loot boxes or nerds is gonna benefit from his work.
Yeah. I mean, it's been interesting. I've enjoyed it. I love the back and forths, the negotiating, trying to figure it out. it's a lot of fun. But hey, guys, want to hear something cool? I got an email from Anatoly this week, so that was fun. He posted recently the Soul Linked, I think it's called, where you can pay to high prioritize your email to him. So I saw that he posted it right when they launched Soul Linked, and so I got in there, $5, $5 USD, paid for him to see my email, and let me get his response, which we're all very excited about. We're organizing a meeting with him at the moment, actually, which will be fun, and it's more like, you know, a chat, kind of like meet your heroes, make a wish kit. Hang on, I'm trying to find the email. I've lost it. It's buried under my break point. There we go. There you go. He said, I just basically pitched him a very nice, clean pitch, point form, told him what I wanted, and that was just for him to jump on a call with us. And Anatoly responded with, wow, that's an awesome portfolio of built products. You guys are cranking. Happy to chat with you all. And then he CC'd in his personal assistant to organize a time. So it's pretty exciting, guys. We're definitely going to get the opportunity to have a phone call with Anatoly in the next couple of weeks. And I will let everyone know how that goes. But we're definitely on his radar now. He knows what's going on. And hopefully after that phone call, especially linking him up with Alpha, we'll be able to kind of expose him more to GigaDAO and what we're actually doing.
Yeah, like I'm not big, like my whole life I've always been like, you know, you have to, like, everyone's fallible. I'm not a big fan of like hero worshipping or anything like that, but Anatoly's had one focus that he's been steadfast on, which is information symmetry. That's been, it really just comes down to like, you want a system that can broadcast one number, what's the price of an asset, to everyone in the world at the same time. It's really nerdy, it's really simple, but he's stuck with that, and I think that's the correct sort of North Star for blockchain. And you know, he's posted recently, like, obviously AMMs are huge, but eventually Clobs will win. And I truly believe that the tech that we're about to launch at GigaDAO is the best showcase, like the best demonstration of the power of the Solana blockchain. It'll really, like, my perspective is that Solana DeFi is just gonna overrun everything else. It's so much easier. Like, it's so much easier to develop on. It's so much simpler. Like, I'm not going to deal with L2s. I'm not going to deal with check-ins. I'm not going to deal with roll-ups. Like, I'm not going to deal with $5 or $10 transaction fees. Like, he's really just, you know, got his priorities correct. And I feel super aligned with his values, especially in someone a trading background, where it's real easy to get screwed by centralized exchanges. Like, we're talking about like a global fair marketplace first and foremost. DeFi is the foundation, and then, you know, all sorts of stuff can be built on top of that. DAO layers, wiki layers, social layers. But the foundation is just like, all right, what's the real price of this asset? What's the value of something? And everyone gets the same number at the same time.
And you and him are just so alike. I remember you said something to me the other day, and in less than 24 hours, Anatoly tweeted it out. Just like, what the fuck? Are you two the same person? What's going on?
It's just the same frequency, bro. Well, it's just turbo. It's
completely tuned in. It's awesome. But yeah, I was pretty excited to get that email, and he obviously is impressed. So it'd be good to have a chat with him, expose ourselves a bit more. My game plan with that is to be prepared with our wants, needs, and requests, but don't ask him. Obviously, I don't want to jump on the phone and be like, give us some money. Instead, I want to have a more organic conversation. But if he does kind of end the call or ask that question, I'll be ready to say, you know, what we may want. And I think if anything, it's grant money for audits. Be nice to get that done, or we just open source. What do you think, Alpha? Just open source everything?
Oh, definitely. Like, we need to open source as aggressively as possible. I can't even think of anything I want to ask of him. I just want to kind of know what he's thinking. I just want to
Yeah.
connect with the dude, just for fun more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think a Solana Foundation grant is going to make like a huge difference either way. I just want to sort of let him, I want him, 5 minutes of consultation. I have a feeling he's going to have insights. He's famously humble about, like, he didn't see NFTs coming. You listen to his spaces and he's just like, I'm just building a good database, like, I don't know what it's going to be used for, but at the same time, he's very well connected. So I think we kind of just lay out our portfolio, lay out our strategies. He's likely to be able to give us some nuggets of wisdom.
Yeah, that was my thought as well. Just have that chat with him, share ideas, thoughts, and see what happens. But yeah, hopefully I hear back from his assistant in the new week. And obviously we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on. But Alpha, I've bought my Breakpoint ticket and I've bought my flights. What do you think? They extended the tickets now to the 15th, 16th of October, so you can still get an early bird.
That sounds fun. I have to say, I just renewed my Bali visa, so if it overlaps, I'll probably go. Like, if it's right on the edge where I'm going to have to leave the country anyways, then fuck it.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to have to do that, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, find out when that is. I think it might line up well.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I love
flights are fairly good at the moment. I paid I paid a little bit more because I wanted to get an easy layover. So I think it was like $1,200 USD for Amsterdam return tickets, and I think it's like 17-hour flying in total. One layover in Singapore. It's pretty good.
Dude, I've just been so fucking sedentary in Bali. I mean, I've been in like 4 or 5 different villas, but like, man, I'm so comfortable here.
Yeah.
It's like, goddamn, I'm so spoiled. I don't want to wait in line for shit. But I do love Amsterdam, and I'm sure that if I go and just like bro out with a bunch of crypto fucking nerds, it'll be awesome.
Yeah. Well, Wing will be there. You'll get to meet him. And he was going to jump on tonight, but it's his partner's birthday. But yeah, there will be a few people there, and we'll try and get ourselves smuggled into the Magic Eden Yacht Party. That'd be a good time as well. It's a lot of opportunity to kind of spread the word, spread the seed of GigaDAO into all the hot babes of Magic Eden.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, I'm sort of indifferent. If I go, it wouldn't be for sort of like marketing purposes. It would just be to have a fun time. Like, we did the sort of crazy thing of allowing me to spend 6 months of R&D and a full Rust toolchain and stuff, and now that's done and now it's working. So, we'll be shipping EP style, probably just for nerds initially for beta testing. So, the first 2 things we release probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll have to have a nerd in order to use it. And then we'll open it up from there. But you guys are going to get to taste a few different flavors, because one of the products is going to be like full stack TypeScript, more or less. The other one's going to be full stack Rust. And we may or may not release the upgraded GigaDEX at the same time, which is a hybrid.
Yeah, we'll see how we go with the refactoring this week. It looks like there's still going to be a bit more work to do. If we can get the refactoring done within next week, then we are potentially going to be able to launch GigaDEX v3 with the mobile version as well. But we'll see. Depends on our front end guy, how much dev kit he can pull off.
Yeah, we sort of put him under the gun, and we're like, okay, there's, you open the network tabs in a browser and it has like DOM content loaded in 3.7 seconds. We're like, you need to get it under 2. And so he's really got like specific numbers that we're testing him against now. Have you told people about our new compensation system?
With the project management tasks? Not
Yeah.
really. I haven't shared it as much. Not yet.
Yeah. Well, basically, do you mind if I do?
Yeah, that's fine. Go for it.
All right. So, for the last more than 6 months, we've had people working for us writing decent code, but for the most part, it was like, you get a paycheck every week and you do some stuff and blah, 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 but there's not a ton of accountability and there's not a big differentiation between like high performers and low performers. So based on my own personal experience, what I like as a dev, we wanted to create a really high feedback system where all the work you do, you get recognized for it. If it's good or bad, you get very clear feedback so you can level up faster and you can potentially get paid more if you accomplish more tasks in less time. So what we did is I was the guinea pig at first and I loved it. I had Belac managing all my tasks. I still do. We have 1 day a week, just Monday, dedicated to admin, and the rest is just pure execution. So about 2 weeks ago, we extended that to the rest of our team, and we just priced each task. And immediately there was an uptick in productivity because we're like, okay, here's what you have to do. Here's how much money you get paid for each thing. And if you finish it early, you can just take time off, or you can propose more tasks and make more money. So that kind of like granular feedback that tells us who are the high performers, who's got the hustle, the ambition, and also what are they really capable of? Because it's sort of human nature to sandbag otherwise. I've done it. Everyone's done it. And so we want to avoid that. We want to get as much value for GigaDAO as possible. So we've switched to this new compensation system. We started simple. Every task has a price. We may transition to a points-based system in the near future. We're not sure, but yeah, that's what we're working with now. And so far, it's accelerated things significantly, very significantly. In fact, my initial expectation is like we can develop 2x faster if instead of just paying people and just not having hard deadlines, we give them these tasks and prices. And I think we're pretty close to 2x at this point, just after 2 weeks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the thing I like about it most, like obviously Sunday and Monday are pretty grueling, especially Monday when we're putting the tasks together. But once it's done, like that's it. We now just watch these guys complete these tasks. I do my QA/QC, of course, and it means I don't have to worry about managing them for the entire week. I can go back and do my own thing, and I've got a lot of things to do, so it actually gives me more time back during the week, surprisingly, by setting up this compensation system. And it also forces code reviews, just to make sure that what we're pushing actually makes sense. There's nothing breaking, and it's pretty good. So far, it's worked. We'll see how long we can keep it up for. I think we'll be able to do it at least for this month and push out everything we need to do, and then just constant continuous improvement.
Yeah, I mean, that's the other big thing too, as you mentioned, the code reviews. So the other thing that's changed over the last 2 weeks is that I personally read all of the code that gets pushed into production. Before, I was kind of trusting people with it. I can review code pretty quickly. I can read code much faster than I can read like books and stuff. But I think people like that because, like, if you're a developer and you spend time and you do something clever, like, you want the recognition for it. And similarly, if you fuck something up, then like it means a lot that your boss can be like, you messed that up, don't push that into production. And it's happened. Both of those have happened multiple times already. So it's like the social feedback aspect of it, I think is more exciting for our devs, and it also increases code quality.
Yeah, it looks like ADAB has just pushed the MVP for the SDK for Jupyter. So that'll be exciting to read through it, make sure it's right. He said it should be good enough for Jupyter. So potential integration with Jupyter coming up, guys. It's exciting. And then we just start market making and get some volume on that DEX, because that's what we're all here for. We're here for volume. and fees.
Fearful volume. Long overdue, but we're on the right track.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything's lining up nicely. Damn, there was something that I wanted to ask you about, but don't know. Brain's starting to melt at around this time.
Yeah, bro. I mean, we can fucking talk about whatever the fuck. Like, I'm tempted to go a little bit bigger. Like, I would love to hear from the audience about what's the future of this? What's the future of Web3? I like going into spaces where people are asking bigger questions. Like, sometimes people are obviously there's those spaces where it's like, oh, what's the latest fucking mint and which one's going to pump? But then you go into other ones where it's like, oh, how is this going to impact elections? Or what's going to be the thing that drives, right now we're at like maybe 200 million users in blockchain overall. And we're at the curve, we're sort of at the elbow of the exponential. And I've been asking people everywhere I go, like, what's gonna bring us the first billion? Like, what's gonna make a blockchain household? One of the answers I got was just like memberships for like your favorite pizza restaurant, like your favorite, like whatever, Sam's Club or Costco or all these like Starbucks. Like, once these operators, these sort of normal businesses, gas stations, once they understand how crypto really work, they're going to want to get rid of their like 2.9% credit card fees, go onto Solana, save that right out the back, and then also, give their users like membership benefits. So there's definitely a lot of ways it could go in terms of mass adoption.
It's not just like the fees they can save from those transactions, but it's also operational costs as well that goes into it. If you build your services using blockchain, there's an entire cost model that you just eliminate from your budget each month because everything's being done on Solana. Like all of these businesses and all that sort of stuff, they're not just paying per transaction, but they've also got to pay to have the maintenance and the support and all that there. Whereas if you use blockchain, the last time Solana went down was months ago, and even then it doesn't go down often. So you're never going to have to worry about things like that. I worked in a call center all those years ago, providing technical support for FPOS pin pads, and it was hell. I'm not going to lie, I hated it, but I was good at it, fucking good at it. I was going on a break with my career at that point, but it was fun, like these people calling through merchants, business owners, and they're just struggling with payments all the time. It's costing them money, it's costing their business money, and they're paying for a service, they're paying on fees, so all that gets solved. I'm looking forward to seeing it being used more in gaming platforms, and not like play to earn style, but actually building their platforms using blockchain technology. Like Steam has these items that you can get and earn, and all these cards and tradable items. They could basically turn all of those into NFTs. They use their own blockchain to do it, which is more likely what they will try and do and keep it centralized and closed in. But they can build everything on there and save all of the costs on having to host images, all the costs on the infrastructure. All they have to do is run that blockchain, deploy it, keep it in a nice little ecosystem, and people don't even know they're NFTs. They don't even know that they're trading crypto. Like, it's the infrastructure and how cheap it can be and how efficiently it can be ran that takes over all of the existing infrastructure that's there today. And I strongly believe that's going to end up happening. Steam will eventually move over to some kind of blockchain. I would probably say it would be their own, so they can manage it and keep it safe. But yeah, it's just going to save a whole lot of operational costs, and that's all I think about. How much does it cost to keep something running?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything you just said, and I would also add the ownership piece to it. So if you like Steam and big existing companies, like, sure, there's efficiencies to be had from integrating blockchain and migrating, but for the next generation of businesses, every type of business. As long as you're building a product or service that people want to use, like on a continuous basis, I think there's a benefit from raising money through the blockchain, just because the same people who are your investors are also going to be your customers. And the moment you have that like overlap, you just get free marketing and you get much better feedback, and you don't have like extractive, exploitive data, harvesting like what you see with the current social media giants. So like for the future of dirty laundry, like one of the things that I'm really hoping to do is get other founders who are actually building something. Like no just like hypenomics, no just like bullshit. Like if I don't care if you're making a game or a DeFi protocol or fucking like like beer brand, or like if you're making something real, if you're a real business operator, like I'm gonna push you and encourage you and show you the benefits of raising money and operating your business like as a DAO and running it through the blockchain, because I think that's the future of capitalism, if you ask me.
DAO. The DAO chant.
Yeah, dude. It's really that simple. Like it's like that's all it is. It's just the next wave. Like we're used to all of these big businesses. They have like a very small number of investors and then a really big number of consumers, and it's just like to the benefit to screw over the consumer, right? You want to like penny pinch, and you want to steal their data, and you want to just raise prices at every opportunity. I think there's opportunity for there to be a bigger pie for investors and founders to make even more money in a new model where the actual people who are using it are also the owners of it. It's like, it sounds like socialism, but it's not socialism. It's a totally new thing. It's DAO economics, and that's what GigaDAO is all about. Governance for 1 billion people.
That's right. I forgot the guy's name. Anyway, I was going to insert a joke there, but didn't work. SD Crypto, how are you doing, brother? You're muted. SD Crypto. Are you just engagement farming on our space?
I like this BFP. Yeah, there's that.
Top notch. I'm seeing a lot of nerds. It's good to see.
Yes, sir. Finally, dude. Oh, what a feeling. What a feeling, dude. I was in this space for so long, just like being ultra salty about all these projects, and when we finally got our own encrypted, made my beautiful PFP, we've come such a long way. I'm just really thankful to everybody here. Like without you guys wouldn't be possible, and you better believe that we're fucking grinding our balls off. Like that is not that's an understatement. We are working very hard to get that liquidity back
every day. I've even kicked out my Korean princesses just so I can focus on my work even more. The sacrifice. This is a bachelor pad only.
That's maybe too big of a sacrifice, bro. I don't know if I would have done that.
They come and go.
Yeah. What else?
Who was it that said you can find a new wife, but you can't find a new $1 million idea?
I don't know. You can find a new wife. It's really hard to find a business partner. That's been my experience.
True that. Especially these days. SD Crypto, are you there? I saw you react. You're just going to sit in the speakers. If anyone wants to come up, feel free. I don't think we'll go for too long this week. Yeah.
We gotta keep it tight. He's talking now though. SD Crypto is good.
Hi guys, how's it going? Just listening in here. Need to go and buy some more nerds. That sounds of it.
Fuck yeah, dude. Fuck yeah. Yo, are you from? Are you tuning in from Ireland, or where are you from?
I'm tuning in from Ireland. Yeah. I'm
nice.
out. We have a beautiful day here today, so I'm out doing a bit of gardening, listening in.
Amazing.
Nice.
Well, I love the PFP. I love the support. Yeah, dude. Just let us know. Like, what do you want from us? What are you most excited about? Like, over time, we're going to be giving nerds more and more control. So, what are your ideas? I don't mean to put you on the spot. There's no wrong answers.
Well, guys, I'm just happy tuning in. Same. I'm pretty impressed by the work ethic these guys are putting in. Every day, and there's always some surprises down the line. So just happy to be part of it. And I say it's easy for me to get on Twitter, and I'm sort of time poor. Pretty busy in real life, most people. But it's easy to just show a little bit of support along the way. You know what I mean? And happy to back you as much as I can.
Love it. Thank you, SD Crypto. Yeah, appreciate the recognition. Appreciate you coming up. We're here to make you guys proud and make you guys money. And I can't understate the fact that we're undergoing a really extreme transition right now. It started about 2 weeks ago when we officially finished the Rust Tool Chain Gauntlet R&D phase, which was successful. And now you're going to see one launch after another. It's basically going to be more like the original. For those of you who have been here for like almost 2 years, the original GigaDAO was like us shipping a new product like every other month, and like that's coming back, but on a whole new level because we've got like an upgraded tool chain. So everyone who's here, like, stick around. Appreciate the support. There's a lot to look forward to, yeah, dude, just keep showing up, and we'll keep putting in the work.
That is the way. I love it. I was speaking to someone today and telling them, I'm working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day. And they said to me, are you sure you should be doing that? Shouldn't you be enjoying your life? And I said, I am enjoying my life. This is good, and it feels good. There's nowhere else I want to be right now except, there's just nowhere else. Doing this is like, it just feels good. It feels right every single day. Alpha and I get the chance to link up and talk and just strategize what's next. We have so many crazy ideas. It's just energizing, having the freedom and opportunity to do this and work on what we're working on just feels so good. I love it. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah, dude, so blessed. We work every day. Like, we probably work harder than is even healthy, but we do it on our own terms. I wake up when I want, go to sleep when I want, do meetings when I want. The cost is that you kind of just have to give everything, but that freedom to choose your own destiny is just worth it, and we're going to keep it going for as long as possible, and we're going to bring all of you with us. So it's 10 p.m. We should probably keep this tight, keep it to the hour. I told Michael I'd call him back in an hour. But yeah, look forward to another one in 7 days. And maybe we'll try and get some other interesting new founders up here too, because I want to get a pulse on the space. I want to see who's actually building stuff. That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be. And I would just a call to action to everyone here who's going to come next week. Come with a question. Come with something you want to talk about. Alpha and I talk daily for the last year and a half, and we're always coming up with big brain stuff and talking about big brain stuff. You've got an opportunity to kind of join in on that and discuss it with us. So next week, we're probably going to do the same time for now, Saturday night, jumping on Spaces. Come up with us, bring a question, bring a topic. Let's talk about it. Let's have some fun with it.
Yeah, and I'm also going to try and get approval to be completely unfiltered next week. The thing is, we call this dirty laundry for a reason. I had to kind of keep the filter on for now, but I really think that DAOs are about transparency. So hopefully next week, Belac will let me just
absolutely, yeah. This time next week, we'll be letting out all the alpha, 100%. The alpha will be unleashed.
Yeah, there's going to be some entertainment value there. So thank you again, everybody, for showing up, and love you all and appreciate it greatly.
Thanks, guys. Take care.